Well, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today for Oklahoma City's winter weather update. My name is Christy Yeager, the city's public information officer. Our sign language interpreter today is Becky Woodall. Thank you, Becky, for all you do. Today in our media briefing, we're going to hear from Mayor David Holt, City Manager Craig Freeman, our Street Superintendent Raymond Melton, Frank Barnes, our Emergency Manager. From the airports, we have Stacy Ham. With an update on our residents that are experiencing homelessness, we have Jared Shedded. Representing Embark will be Michael Scroggins. Brenda Perry will speak on ODOT's behalf. Then we have Christy Woodworth with OG&E, Adam Paluca with IMSA, and finally, John Gary with Oklahoma City Animal Welfare. We'll take questions from reporters at the end of the presentation. Just type your questions in the chat. Please include your name and the name of your media outlet and who you're directing your questions to. And now I'll turn it over to Oklahoma City Mayor David Holt.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you to you and Zach and the public information team for putting these briefings together. It's really fabulous that we're able to pull together so many different voices in a short amount of time and give our residents and the media a quick update on where storm response stands. As I said yesterday, we're not meteorologists, so you'll have to go elsewhere for that news, but any of us can look out our window and see that it's still snowing and that it's still very cold. And so, Mother Nature is not yet on our side, but we're doing everything we can with the resources we have. And obviously, as we'll hear in a moment, the most important thing for most people is what are the streets looking like? Our street crews are working 24/7, but again, every time they drive by, the snow keeps falling right behind them. And without a little bit of help from a higher temperature, the ice is not melting and the snow is not melting. So it's still not great to be out. And so just as I said yesterday, and I'll echo it again, if you can stay home, stay home. And obviously we'll hope to continue to clear those roads. We'll hope to see the snow end and the temperatures rise and you'll be able to get out more and about hopefully in the days ahead. But right now, if you have to go out, of course, check out the snow routes. We've got that at okc.gov. Google Oklahoma City snow routes. You'll be able to find the map and at least try to focus your travel on those snow routes. As Christy said, we got a great lineup today and lots of different entities that are involved, but I wanted to give a couple quick updates from two or three that we're not going to hear from today, so I'll speak on their behalf. But before I do that, I do certainly want to thank the media for sharing this information and for all you're doing to keep people safe. Print, radio, TV, everybody, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. And online as well, of course. And as always, I want to thank our street crews, our police, our fire, our water line workers, utility workers, everybody who's doing so much in really harsh conditions to make sure that all of us are safe and that everything that we expect our city to do is maintained. With that, I wanted to mention that municipal court sessions have been canceled through Friday. The court building is still open if you need to go down there and pay a fine, although again, unless it's urgent, I would encourage you not to get out. O&G systems are currently performing well. There are no problems there, we are told. We'll hear from OGE here in a minute. I also happen to know that early voting is open. County Election Board is operating, but again, I would discourage people from getting out too much today. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better situation. And now I'd like to introduce City Manager Craig Freeman. Obviously, Craig heads up the operations of our city, 4,800 city employees who are working hard, again, in harsh conditions. Craig, on behalf of the people of Oklahoma City, thank you to you and your team for all that you're doing. And I know you're going to introduce some departments to speak on some of the more specific topics that are out there and maybe introduce some of our outside partners as well. City Manager Craig Freeman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that and appreciate the acknowledgement of everyone that's working together to work us through this, because it really is everyone pulling together to get through something like this and a situation like this. And I really do appreciate all of our employees and then the partner agencies that work with us who are out there working in the cold weather, working the bad street conditions and working to clear the streets. So just want to acknowledge them as we start off. I've got a couple of quick updates, and then we'll do the introductions of the individuals who can give you frontline updates on what's happening in many different areas of service for our residents. First, in utilities, we had talked yesterday about discontinuing the trash service for Thursday for trash and recycling. We're going to do that again tomorrow. So if your trash and recycling are picked up on Thursday, we will pick that up on Saturday. And if it's picked up on Friday normally, that will be picked up on Sunday. So I just want to make sure that clear. So today and tomorrow it's canceled, and we'll pick those up on Saturday for those who are on Thursday, regular schedule, and Sunday on the regular schedule for Friday. Also, our parks and recreation centers and senior centers are all closed through Friday. Martin Nature Park and Will Rogers Park will both be open, but the centers that serve those parks will be closed. And then our city golf courses will be closed both today and tomorrow. So next up, what I'm going to do is introduce several of our department representatives or partner agency representatives, and we'll just work through quick updates from each of these areas. First up is Raymond Melton. He's our street superintendent. Will give us an update on the work that's being done to clear the roads.
Thank you, Craig. Good afternoon, everybody. Just want to give you a brief update of where we're at on our roadways. We're on our second day of around-the-clock, 24-hour operation with two 12-hour shifts of between 75 and 80 employees on each shift, with shift changes being at noon and midnight each day. Once again, within the Oklahoma City limits, we have 20 snow routes, which cover 1,238 lane miles. So far, we've used 708 tons of salt on our roadways and driven over 6,800 miles. Today, we'll have 28 trucks plowing the snow routes. Yesterday, the sleet and snow came in about 1:30. Within a few hours, we began plowing operations, and we'll continue that through today. Crews were able to plow all 20 snow routes over the night. We have begun the second round today. Currently, the temperature is too low for salt to be effective. The temperature has to be 15 degrees or above for salt to be getting to work. We should be able to start salting operations on Friday about noon. We encourage everyone to stay at home if that's possible. If you must get out, please add extra time for your trip and drive slowly. Be careful on the bridges and crossings. Snow routes, as the mayor said, you can find those at www.okc.gov. I encourage you to look at those before you leave on your travel. Finally, if you find yourself behind one of our snow plows, please stay at least 100 feet behind for everyone's safety. And we appreciate everyone's cooperation and look forward to sunny days ahead.
Thanks, Raymond. Next, we'll hear from Frank Barnes, the city's emergency manager.
Thank you, Craig. The Oklahoma City Office of Emergency Management has been monitoring the winter storm and its impacts on the city of Oklahoma City. Talking to the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Norman, we can expect continued light snow all afternoon. There is a narrow band of heavy snow east of Amarillo that's tracking east towards Oklahoma City, and we may see it reach the Oklahoma City metro. Right now, you can expect an average of another inch of additional snowfall, depending on whether the heavier band passes over your region. You may see as much as 2 to 2.5 inches of additional snowfall. Another key point is it's cold out there, and we expect single-digit lows with wind chills below 0 in the morning for the next several days. The main impacts from this storm has been to the transportation sector, making travel challenging for all. Other than travel challenges, all other critical infrastructure is functioning at near normal. The police department has temporarily suspended responding to non-injury traffic accidents. They will reevaluate that suspension as conditions improve. The police department is still responding to injury traffic accidents. That's all I got, Craig.
Thank you, Frank. Now we'll hear from Stacy Ham with an update on conditions at our airports.
Thank you, Craig. Yes, so our main runways and taxiways are being cleared. Our maintenance crews are out working nonstop, even though it's still snowing, to keep those clear for the airlines to get to and from the gates. Check flyokc.com if you have a flight this afternoon or later this evening or even tomorrow morning. Some airlines have canceled their flights and other airlines are still flying. So to stay up to date, just go to flyokc.com and look under arrivals and departures. That's where you can find updated information, or you can contact your airline. We are also working to clear all of our parking lots as well, but you can expect some snow to still be in the parking lots. And Terminal Drive is still snow packed. Our maintenance crews will clear those off starting tomorrow. So we just ask that you guys be careful if you do have a flight flying out today and tomorrow. And we also have all of our restaurants open as well if you are flying out today. So
thanks, Stacy. With an update on for our residents, the services for our residents that are experiencing homelessness, we have Jared Shaded. He's our homelessness programs coordinator.
Thanks, Craig. We have several shelter locations that are providing expanded winter overflow beds through the weekend. Those locations are Homeless Alliance, City Rescue Mission, and Salvation Army. Also, CISA Youth will now be providing a limited number of overflow beds for youth 24 and under. This is in addition to existing shelter capacity, which has all been reopened since last year at locations like City Care. They're also going to be trying to get as many people in as they can. In addition to this, Homeless Alliance Day Shelter will be open every day through the winter, including this weekend. And City Rescue through the storm will also be allowing people to stay in during the day, and CISU will be open around the clock. Embark has been providing some transportation between some of these facilities as well, which has been really helpful, and they'll continue to do that at least through the storm. Some of these locations could use some donations. In fact, they probably all could use your assistance. Some of them will have specific items listed on their social media, but really the best thing you can do is donate directly. Easiest way to do that is on their website. Each one of them has a donate button. Just go, you can do that, hit the button. It's quick and easy, and that will allow them to purchase anything they need, not only for now, but also just to get them through the rest of the winter. And that's my update for now. Everything seems to be going pretty smoothly so far, thankfully.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate that. Michael Scroggins with Embark will give us an update on our bus services.
Thanks, Mr. Freeman. Most probably know that Embark operates all the bus and ADA curb to services here in Oklahoma City and Norman. And our senior mobility transportation services, which are a little different from our fixed route, they'll be resuming their service on Monday. So if any person needs immediate transportation, though, they should reach out to their contact that's been assigned to them, known as a mobility coordinator. Now, our downtown parking garages, they're still open, and our crews are continuing to remove snow from the walkways, entries, and exits. But of course, we always want people to take it slow when they're walking in there, as it can still be slippery. Our transit services, Embark continues to provide essential transit service with thousands of trips already provided today, even in these conditions. So today and tomorrow, our OKC Norman bus service will continue to operate on winter weather detours. Now, keep in mind, service levels will be updated as travel conditions change. And so that's why we encourage customers to plan their trip ahead of time by visiting our website, embarkok.com, and to check the status of the route before heading to the stop. It's just too cold to wait out there very long. So the OKC streetcars, they're operating regular service, and they will continue to operate into the night to help protect the overhead lines and keep them clear. Now, because we share the road with others, we're asking motorists to give buses, streetcars, and our customers who are navigating intersections and crossing roadways to get to the stop plenty of room. We want to make sure everyone gets home safely. I appreciate the time for the update.
Thanks, Michael. Brenda Perry with ODOT will now give us an update on the conditions on our highways and turnpikes.
Hi, thank you. So we have crews, ODOT crews and turnpike crews who have been out since the very beginning of the week with this storm, and they continue to make progress. It is very slow progress with the way that the bands of precipitation came through. It has made it really challenging for crews, as someone else mentioned earlier, on their reports. You know, they'll go through and they're clearing, but then the precipitation is covering it back up. So our biggest plea to people is to stay home. Travel is pretty strongly discouraged over most of our state right now. And so if they can stay home, if they have the option, we are asking them to do that. If they do have to get out, They really need to slow down and allow extra space between vehicles. We did have quite a bit of problems on I-35 in southern Oklahoma on that corridor with some stalled vehicles because of wrecks. And so those have been cleared now. That's the good news. But we just really want people to realize that improvements are going to be slow going on this. So if they have the option to stay home, please do so. And that's about all I have.
Thank you, Brenda. Christy Woodworth with OGE will give us an update on the electric utility.
Thanks, Craig, and thank you again for having us join you in this briefing. We really appreciate the invitation and the opportunity to share a status update. Our teams, like everyone else's, have been working 24/7. Our folks have been working to restore power to customers who are experiencing outages. Significant work is in progress and in process on the west side of the metro to reduce what's known as galloping, which is when the combination of ice and snow with a certain wind pattern causes lines to move up and down, which can cause cross arms to break, which results in outages. We've moved an additional 600 line workers into that area this afternoon, and they're working on constructing additional poles and securing wires to ensure and to help mitigate that from happening in that area again. As of this moment, I checked right before we went live, we had about 3,700 folks without power. The majority of those are in a single large outage on the west side of the metro area, and our folks are working to actively restore folks as quickly and as soon as possible. We do know that losing electricity during severe winter weather is more than just an inconvenience, and our crews and we are committed to restoring service as soon as we safely can for all of those customers. For customers who want to stay up to date on what's happening, they can sign up for My OGE alerts and then choose to receive updates by text, email, and or phone. You can also monitor progress on our Storm Center on our website. We've also just added a list of warming centers available across our service area if folks need those. As everyone has mentioned, we want folks to stay safe. Please check on your neighbors. If you're experiencing an outage, please report that to us. Don't assume that someone else has. Please let us know. And at all times, if you see a downed power line, please remain safe and stay away from all downed power lines and anything they might be touching. You can report downed power lines or outages at 800-522-6870. That's 800-522-6870. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christy. Now, Adam Paluca with the IMSA service will provide an update on ambulance services.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Since that initial uptick in motor vehicle accidents yesterday afternoon, we have seen a sharp decrease. I want to thank all the motorists who've decided to stay home through this winter weather event. We know that there is another storm system with a heavy snow potential to add an additional couple of inches. So we hope folks continue to be mindful that the safest place for them is not in their vehicle, it's in their home. Today we have had 4 cold exposure calls, and 2 of those calls resulted in patients being transported to the hospital. It's incredibly important that even if you're only planning to spend 15 or 30 minutes outside, that you dress in layers, that you keep your head, feet, and fingers covered, and that you try to avoid getting any moisture on your clothing and have a dry set of clothes. These temperatures aren't expected to move upwards in the next 12 hours, so it could be a long night. So we appreciate everybody taking the precautions that are necessary to keep themselves and their loved ones safe.
Thank you, Adam. And now finally, John Gary, our Animal Welfare Superintendent, will give an update on our animal welfare services.
Hello, everyone. Animal welfare is, we are working today at the shelter and in our field operations. We have staff at the shelter caring for the animals, as well as there to take in animals that are in need. And our field response is mostly, we're down to emergency response only, which is really animals whose life are at risk. Currently, we have, well, as of right before this call, we've worked about 38 cruelty cases just today alone. Most of those cases are involved in animals left out in the cold without shelter, food or water. Thankfully, we've been able to resolve all those without any major issues. But our field team is out and working right now. We also highly encourage everyone, all citizens, to bring your pets inside. These temperatures are dangerous for pets, even if you feel like you have a dog, a large breed dog that has a big furry coat. These temperatures are dangerous with the weather, the precipitation, the snow when they get wet. It's very dangerous weather for them, and again, it keeps our officers from having to respond whenever you keep your animals inside. So we're just asking that everyone be safe and bring their pets in.
Thanks, John, and thanks to all of our partner agencies that joined us on the update. That's all the specific updates that we have today. And again, just thanks to everyone who's out there working to keep all of us safe and to provide a safe environment, and to all of you who are staying home and staying safe. So, Christy, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you. We do have 2 questions right now in the queue. Both of them are for Adam with IMSA. The first question is from Amanda with Channel 9. She asked about the cold exposure calls. What were the people doing? Were they experiencing homelessness or doing work outside? Do you know?
I do not know. I can ask some of our supervisors at EMSA about that, but we do have to follow patient privacy protocols. So I'm not sure what information I would be able to divulge.
Jared, have you heard of any cold exposures?
As of yet, no. I mean, I have not heard of any deaths or severe cold exposures. That's not meaning there hasn't been any, but we have not heard of any.
Okay, thank you. And then the next question is also for Adam or anyone who wants to answer it. Have there been any cold temperature related deaths? I guess we just answered that question, and that is that we're not aware of any. And that was from Ken with the AP. Are there any other media outlets that have questions? I don't see any. If you do have questions, at any point, just give us a call, text, email, and we'll be here to answer your questions. And I want to remind everybody that they could visit okc.gov and see our snow routes and find out what's going on throughout the city during the snowstorm. I also want to thank everybody for being patient as we get through this storm. We know it's an inconvenience for people to have difficult roads to drive on, and it's a problem, but we are trying our hardest, and we want to provide the best service that we can for our residents. So thank you for joining us today, and hopefully the sun will come out. Oh, I do have a question that just came in from Dana with 9. She asked if COVID has impacted the number of employees responding. And I think the best person to answer that question would be Captain Frank Barnes with Emergency Management. He has been on top of our COVID response from the very beginning and has been tracking employees that have been impacted by COVID.
Short answer is no. We have seen a significant decrease or drop in COVID-related cases involving the city's workforce. And we're seeing far fewer exposures and far fewer people with COVID-like symptoms and testing positive for COVID. So we're in a much lower case rate today than we were 2 and 3 weeks ago.
Thanks, Frank. Any other questions? Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. We appreciate you.